Hi, Megan.
Good afternoon. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes here, just let a few more people join, and we'll be getting started shortly. Okay, I'll kick us off here. There's still a few people still pending to join, but we may as well get started. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Skelton. I am the National Account Manager here at Wolseley for representing the Climate Care Group. Today, I have two of my colleagues joining me. So Craig Anderson is one of our lead TSAs in Ontario. He will be going through the EPMS and Go Keep Right site. And I also have our ICP Regional Business Manager, Thyra Sager, who will join us to help run through service bench warranty. So I will actually kick us off today. I'll be covering the Wolseley HVAC dealer portal that we have created for you guys and just some of the key resources and stuff that have been updated. There's a few new things that have gone on, so we'll start with that. If you have any questions, feel free to use the conversation box or raise your hand. They're welcome throughout any time throughout this presentation. So you guys should be able to see my screen. This is the look once you guys log into the Wolseley dealer portal. And there's a few different ways. So I'm actually just in our sales side of it, but it's very similar. You'll have your menus across the top, which I prefer because it's just consolidated view. And below you can click into the same icons below. Under the resources tab, in these four tabs, there's actually quite a bit of information, two of which topics we'll be covering today. So the EPMS, which is our electronic parts management system. Here is the information. If you guys haven't used this or need to sign up, so this is how to download the desktop version. There's some key instructions here, how to access the site. Each of you guys, each of the membered companies have a HVAC partner number that's associated, and you will need to use the business phone number to log in. So this is how the accounts have been set up using this information. So when you're looking to set up, that's what you should go to check out. For technical support guides, there are a few different types of things in here. The most popular is the coil match. So we put this together for you guys at the beginning of our program just to aid with the resource of being able to cross-reference coils between our different product offerings. So at the bottom, you can see the different types of equipment. So you can go through, it will show you the model, the and then whatever coil matches up with a furnace, and it gives you the output for SEER rating. So these are pretty handy, just for a quick reference if you're looking to see your options available. We have similar things for heat pump ratings and air handler specifications there. Under the service bench warranty, so this will be also good for what we're going to reference when Thyra when she's presenting. So the Climate Care warranty entry, this is actually a full-blown PowerPoint of the steps for warranty processing. So it's a great tool to reference if you're in a more difficult claim, or if you forget a step or something like that. There is pretty comprehensive steps just to get registered and started here. We also have the defect codes for warranty. So this is a little cheat sheet at the end. When you're submitting your warranty, you are required to put a defect code in. This will help guide you, depending on what is wrong with the equipment, to what you should reference for that. So this is a good little cheat guide for that, for anyone who's touching or handling warranty. And then we also have just the generic SOP. So I will go over it just briefly for you guys so you can understand. if you're not accustomed to doing it. So for the climate care warranty process, anything ICP related is to be directly submitted using the Service Bench portal. All other warranty claims are to be dealt with at the branch directly. So if you have other types of equipment you purchase through Wolseley, those maintain your standard warranty practice. When you are submitting a warranty, it is important to have the invoice number to reference on Service Bench. You'll have a request for that pops up in the reference field, so make sure you put the Wolseley invoice number there. Usually from Wolseley it takes about 2 weeks, so once you guys submit the warranty, we do suggest that you reach out to the strategic accounts email with just the number. There is somebody who checks it weekly or bi-weekly, but if it is something that's urgent or a little bit time sensitive, I would suggest just reaching out with that information, and vice versa. They will reach out to you with any information that you may need. You'll be able to check status and stuff, and Thyro will go into that. But you are not required to return back defective product unless prompted by ICP. And due to that, we ask you to quarantine product for 30 days, even if the claim has been fully processed. Another important point is that a warranty claim must be submitted within 90 days of the repair. So very similar to the EPMS that I showed you guys, there is a, to set yourself up, there is a Service Bench ID that's been authorized for each of you. And then when you're logging in for the first time, you'll do that Service Bench ID, then you'll type in user, and your password will be the postal code. So these have been set up for each one of your membered companies, and this should be used as a guide to get yourself going. So that's for that. And if you need to reference it, it is on the portal. Internal processes and contact info. So this is great, just high level, who to go to, and if you need help for something. So call center, as you should be aware, it is available to use by the Climate Care Group. You guys do use it for the consolidated purchases, but not so much just everyday purchasing. So we have put together a little bit of a brochure for you. This team is really, what's key about them is they work 24/7 and extended hours, and they're able to help guide you through if you have a specific part inquiry, or if you're needing after-hour support. Just they have a breadth of knowledge within HVAC, outside and beyond the branch. So it's another resource for you guys. They're open from 7 till 11, Monday to Friday, and all holidays and weekends are 8 to 5 typically. At this point, we do have support on the climatecare.orders inbox from 8 to 6. I'd say that's your best method of communication, is just emailing that climatecare.orders email. But should you need assistance outside of that 8 to 6 window, you're more than welcome to call that 1-866 number, and somebody will answer in a priority sequence. So just some of the products that they can help deal with. Great team for support. Damaged equipment process. So some of you guys have had to fall back on this, unfortunately, but it's a pretty easy process. It's just unfortunate that sometimes product arrives either with visible damage or concealed damage to your warehouse. So what we suggest, if this happens to you, is to connect with your corporate office and or local branch, or myself, and just identify if you have damage. So the order came off of the SKU in question, and serial number is very important. And if you can identify the source of the damage, whether it was concealed damage or if it arrived damaged, with visible damage, etc., any pictures are important for us to approve and quickly get you a replacement. So pretty good process with that, but should you need to reference it, it's also there. Consolidated returns process. So this is if something's not damaged, you just bought too much or you ordered the wrong unit. We have put together a pretty standard process that follows our standard terms and conditions here at Wolseley, but just more relating to your different types of products that you order. So that's all here for you if you should need to reference it. Of course, this This is the rule. It's not always the exception. We can always work with you guys should an issue arise or you've made a mistake. There's definitely things that we can do to try and alleviate restocking fees. But as long as you're returning within 3 months of the purchase date of a stocked item at Wolseley, there is no penalty. I just updated this afternoon here. So we've had some changes to our TSA support. So we now have 4 full-time leads here to support the region. So just updated contact information in the branches that they cover. We do also have technicians that are, TSAs that have part-time role, meaning that they are attached to a branch or assigned to a branch at a branch. So they're not always available. So I'll just leave this with you guys to take a quick look. One sec. And so these are the new full-time. So Steve, Martindale, Dean, and Guy all were part of the TSA team, but now have full-time obligation of the TSA group. So that's a big change for these guys. What it's going to mean to you is there's more support and quicker turnaround if you have any technical related issues. Okay, so that covers the resources tab. I'll go into purchase items. So this is pretty straightforward. Your private label price book, which you guys should all be accustomed to. I always keep an up-to-date copy here, and your ClimateCare branded sell sheets. So these are provided by ClimateCare to me to help circulate the information with your ClimateCare branding for your consolidated program. So those are all there. You can easily save and download them and send them to your customers, should you not have paper copies. So key vendor websites, moving along here, 2 of which we'll be discussing today. So Wolseley Express, for quick ordering and online ordering, that's available. It's just a quick link there. The Go Keep Right site, Craig will touch on shortly. Service Bench, so that's for warranty submission. And I'll just click into this Fast Parts app. So this is a great little resource for your technicians in the field to help troubleshoot parts, breakdowns, etc., or identify service parts that they may need for a repair. So great mobile app. The EPMS is the full desktop version. So depending if you're in the office or in the field, both are great tools, just available and quickly here on the portal. So for promotions, we do have one right now, just launching today. So this is the spring promo we've offered for you guys. So how it works is there are there's 2 different segments. There's high-end material and standard equipment. So the CVA9, the CSA6, and the SA5, N4H4, and the CSH all qualify. Once you purchase 5 from any of those model series, you'll get a $50 rebate per unit. Any N4A3 series, once you purchase 8 or more within the time period, you'll get $25 per unit, which is great. So this is sort of in conjunction with your promo that is held at the corporate office for the instant rebates from April 12th to July 12th. You guys have a little bit of different offering, different twists, but we are aligned on the high level AC products. So you guys are also offering furnaces, combo bonuses, and IAQ. So with your promo, as you should be aware, there is you guys are expected to compensate for some of that rebate. So hopefully with our promo, this will help fill the void with that. We are running it from April 1st to May 31st. And as a bonus giveaway, we are offering 3 pieces of UEI equipment. We'll likely do it on your checkpoint call probably in early June, and we'll raffle off these 2 prizes that have some pretty good value there. So product and training bulletin. So anything, if you're wanting to register warranty, this is a good link there. Any new products that enter, we try and keep this updated, but if you're ever wanting to look at the cross-reference from the old units, ICP, to the new units, Those are here. Those are what's nice about your group is you joined after all of the major transitions happen, but you may run across these in the field. So it just gives you the equivalent to those units should you ever want to look at that. All right, moving along here. So I'm actually going to pull up a different portal, just a customer view, just so you guys can see the trip statements in full. So you'll see me send an email every month indicating that they've been loaded. This is where you go to check. So under the trip statement section, just to go over, as you should be aware, we do offer a 5-day trip to a tropical destination, COVID pending. So this, obviously in 2020, we didn't do that. In 2021, we are hoping that things do get better and we will be able to move forward with that. Should we not be able to, we will do something like we did last year, which was a swag package. We may change it up, but that's what we ended up doing in light of the situation this year. So we gave a preset swag package. The companies could go in, put their logos on the shirts, etc. So to qualify for this, the top 5 ClimateCare dealers, should they have $90,000 minimum, 10% of sales on Woolsey Express. This is on your standard member account. That will qualify you to attend, and it's ranked obviously by the highest to the lowest. Another thing that we've added this year, which is sort of unique as we're dealing with both sides of your business, is a bonus point for every dollar of year-over-year sales growth. So that's for both your standard member account and your ICP consolidated program. So I'll show you an example of the statement in a second. So the leaderboard. So I also post this. Right now we have one customer or one member qualified based solely off of the ICP amount and the Woolsey Express. So Walker has achieved both so far. But anybody can take their spot throughout the year. There's still lots of time left. It's only April 1st. We have until the end of the calendar year to qualify. And then this is just an example of the bonus points. So it is ranked from highest to lowest, and that will be your total points earned for that time period. So I'll be updating this monthly so you can keep an eye on who's tracking and what you need to qualify. If you're wanting to take a closer look at the dealer program, we do have a little bit of a page, or 2-pager here, a 3-pager, if you're wanting to take a look at that. And this is an example of a statement. So each one of you guys, when you log into your profile, will have a statement for your company. This is an example of Walker's. So it goes through, I'll just show you how the breakdown works. So ICP 2021 is obviously the consolidated sales for 2021. ICP 2020 was last year, so that's how we can calculate the growth from that program. Woolsey Express is based off of your standard member accounts. And then similar to the ICP, the total 2020 and 2021 is your standard member sales year over year. So we'll use that also to calculate your growth. And it gives you a summary of your points, and you can always reference above there for the leaderboard. One last section, which is training and presentations. And this is relevant to what we've been doing for the last couple weeks. So number 1, here, I have loaded all of the presentations and recordings to each of the sessions pending today. I'll try and get that loaded today by end of day. So you'll have full view of anything that was presented in the last 2 weeks to you guys. If you had a technician that had to jump off or didn't get a chance to attend and you're wanting to go over that, you're welcome to view those at your leisure. Another training event that we have coming up, and this is honestly going to be the event of the year. It's something different that we've never really done before for our dealer teams. It's sales consistency training. So anybody who's customer facing, I actually just attended one of your ClimateCare calls. This may even be good for your service technician, somebody who's going into the house, wanting to learn more about how to close sales. This guy is a highly motivated speaker. It shows here that there is a registration fee of $250. That's only if you don't attend and you don't tell us. You have up until, I believe it's April 18th or 19th to remove your registration. The time commitment for this is from 8 to 11, both days on April 20th and 21st. So if you're wanting to register for this, please do. It's going to be a great session for you guys. I'm hoping to see a lot of value. I'm going to, of course, myself be attending, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's pretty much it for the dealer portal. So while I'll let Thyra get set up here, and I'll answer any questions if you guys have any at this point. Okay, so if there's anything that comes up, you're welcome just to put them in the chat here, and I'll let Thyra kick us off for Service Bench.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm assuming that you can see my screen. Somebody say no if you can't. I'm going to talk to you a bit about, well, quite a bit about Service Bench and how you can make sure you get your claims through and how you get signed in and things like that. So a little bit of a PowerPoint in the beginning, and then I'm going to go to a live demonstration where we'll look at how we put claims through and things like that. So first of all, in our warranty, we have what we call a warranty security administrator. So when Megan talks about your IDs that are assigned for you out there, we would consider that ID to belong to the warranty security administrator. So the person who would delegate people access to things within your company, that's who you would want to have those particular sign-on credentials. So once they have those credentials and they have gone in and logged in, then that person can actually issue a user ID for anyone in your particular business who might be handling the entry of claims. So we ask that you keep that first login, specific to just your business administrator who's with your company. And then if you have people who are doing claims outside of that person's role, they would need to be set up with their own access. That way, if a user, if that person leaves the company or changes into a different job position, those credentials can be taken away and you still have access to your Service Bench. We have had situations where that wasn't done, and then we have to try to go back and reset the original Service Bench login, and that becomes a bit of a challenge, as we found out firsthand. So I would just caution that you try to do that where possible. So when you come into your first, this will be your first login, so you'll have that company user ID that's on the page that Megan had up earlier on her screen. Your second fill-in area is going to be user, and your password portion at this point is going to be your postal code. Okay, so that would all go in, and then it will bring you into some contact information. So they ask you to fill this out as much as possible. Where they ask for your tax ID, that is going to be your HST number. So make sure that you have that available as well. And make sure that you put a email address in there so that you're able to receive emails from Service Bench if there's an issue with anything or they're making changes in the system. It will ask you to set up a new password, so you'll be able to do that. Now, again, this is on the administrator account, so you'd set up that password and security questions that will allow you to retrieve said password if you happen to forget. So this is just a high-level look at the warranty claim process, and at this point, we are going to actually jump over to a live demonstration. I hope we had some issues with this morning, but I think we're okay now. So let me just switch the screens that I need to share, and now we'll switch over to this screen. And if you hear muttering in the background, I apologize. It's my dog. She wants out, and she has to stay in my office, so she's moaning at the door. So this is what you come into when you first see your service bench. So you'll be logged into here as an administrator. You'll have this in front of you. Where I spoke to the fact that you would set up individual users, you would go into this admin tab here. Your tabs you may or may not have the same amount of tabs as I do. You would go into your admin, your service provider users, and it's going to bring you up a list of users that you have for your company. You can come down here and you create a new one. This is where you give them their user ID. So you make up a user ID for them. You input all this information, and then you would create a new user. So that's best to do so that you have other people within your company that have access to this. They have a different logon than your actual, what we'll call the warranty administrator login. Okay, so when we're looking at the fact that we want to do some claims, okay, so when you must start your claims from the entitlement. This is the easiest place to start claims from, and it gives you the most visibility to what's going on, you know, with the unit that you're trying to claim on. So if we go to entitlement, it's going to ask you for the serial number, so you put in the serial number. Let's try this one. You're going to always have to put an install date in. So if you don't happen to know the install date on the product, what I always do is I default to December 31st of the year of manufacture. The year of manufacture for all our products, no matter what product you're looking at, will be the first 2 digits in the serial number. So A represents the factory that built the unit. The next 2 digits are the year of manufacture, and the following 2 digits are the week of manufacture. So that tells you that this was built in 2014 in the 33rd week of the year. Your application type, owner-occupied residential, and then you search your entitlement. So this unit comes up for us. We see it's a G9MXT unit. This unit has not been registered at this point in time. There's no registration information in here. Okay, and if you scroll down, it shows you what the actual warranty is on this particular product as it stands today. Now, when we have the actual installation date in there, it may change the warranty that's available on that unit depending on when the actual install date was, obviously. Okay, so from here, if you were going to start a new claim, you'd go down here to the bottom, start a new claim. Your service provider ID will be your 9-digit number that you were given for your company, and then you select service provider. Okay, and then it brings you into your claim. So here's where you will fill in the information. Now this dealer information, when you log in with your own company information, will automatically populate, as will this installation information if the product has been registered. If the product is not registered, the first claim that's entered will set this up for all future claims. So if this is the first time, you would go in and you would enter all this equipment installation information, and then you would move on from there. You need to make sure you have your fail dates in here. So your fail date, the date the unit failed, the date that you did the repair on the unit. Operating letters, we'll talk about in a little bit. Well, actually we can do it now. So bulletin authorization number. In this field, this is where you would enter any information that you were maybe given by a TSA. So Craig might say to you, oh, you know what, there's some labor allowed in this situation. And if you put bulletin number ABC123 in this box right here, that will automatically apply that labor portion to the claim as you go through it. So that's what a bulletin number would do. There may be times when we go through and Craig is authorizing an equipment replacement, maybe for no hassle warranty. And in that situation, he would give you a pre-authorization number. It's a special number that he's able to create. And that pre-authorization number would also go into here. So that pre-authorization will give you the money back for whatever Craig has deemed necessary within the conversation that you've had with them. So your replacement model number and serial number would go in here in that situation, and then we would move forward from there. Okay. Down in the bottom, this is where you're going to put your parts. So if you're just doing a regular warranty claim, you're going to put your quantity of failed parts, your part number, your replacement part number. If you happen to have a compressor that you're replacing, you must have the compressor part number and serial number for both the failed and the replacement. Okay, that's key here. We need them both, and if you don't have them, the claim is going to reject, and then you're going to have to try to go back to site to get them, and that's always harder after the fact. Okay, so that's where you would put all that information. They're going to ask you where it's located. So you just tell them, you know, where it was, your furnace fuel, natural gas or propane. Then you're going to come in here and you're going to put a defect code in. So there's a plethora of different codes in here that you can use, and you would just select one of those. And then in your diagnosis, we want to know what happened to it. So just a brief explanation of what the situation was. You know, service call done, the motor was loud, replace the motor because it was seized. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. We're not looking for a statement like it's broke, I fixed it. That won't fly. They'll reject those claims when it looks like that. So once you get to this place, you can save it or you can submit it. When you save it, obviously it's just being saved and you have to submit it later. If you submit it, then it goes immediately through. Once you've done that, if it goes through with no issue, it'll come up with a box in the middle that says claims submitted successfully. And if you look up here in the right-hand corner, it will show you the amount that was paid on the claim. So it'll come up right away with a paid amount. If there's an issue, you will see over on this left side, you'll get a red highlighted message that comes up that says, whoops, this is what's wrong, you need to fix this. So at that point, you go back through and you look down at what it's asking you to fix, and then you can go in and fix those pieces and resubmit it again. You can continue to resubmit it until you get to a point where you go, okay, well, I don't know what's wrong with it anymore. So if you have that problem, you can just leave it in save status, make sure you save it, then get in touch with your warranty contact at Wolseley with the claim number and just give it to them and you say, okay, I have fixed everything I know how to fix on this claim. It still won't go through. Can you help me? They can go into that claim and actually look at it with you and see if they can see what the problem is. If they still don't see what the problem is, then it would probably escalate to me and I would have a look at it and push it through to our warranty people if I can't do anything with it. Okay, so that's kind of the simple and easiest look at Service Bench. Different types of claims. Your standard is obvious. It's what you do every day. Your pre-authorization is if Craig has given you specific pre-authorization. If you're doing a service parts claim would be something that maybe you went to Wolseley, you bought a motor. You came to the job site, you went to install that motor, and the motor didn't work. So at that point in time, you have a service parts claim. You would click on that. You would fill in the model number and serial number of the unit you were working on still, and you would just go down here and put your failed part in, and your replaced part would be the same number. And then that way you'll get credit for that part that was DOA when you picked it up. Okay, so that's a service parts claim. Bulletin claim we talked about, unit exchange and no hassle are essentially the same thing. Just a caution with a no hassle claim. Our product does come with warranty. Some of our warranties include no hassle. No hassle claims are not really always no hassle. So your first point of contact, if you have a situation where you feel a unit's going to be pulled because of no hassle, you must make contact with the Wolseley TSA before you pull that unit out. Because as soon as you make contact with Craig on that, you're going to say, I want to pull it on no hassle. He's going to say, what are the readings on the compressor? And if you've already pulled the unit, you can't give him those readings. That way, and then he can't fill out proper paperwork, then we have a problem getting your no hassle through. So anytime we're in that situation and you're doing a no hassle replacement, you must right away get in touch with your local TSA and say, you know, I've got this unit that needs to be pulled no hassle. Can you send me the forms? Okay, so that in a nutshell is what we look like from a service bench standpoint. And I think that I have covered all the bits and pieces. If you have any questions, you may question now. If there are no questions, I will turn it over to Craig Anderson, unless you think that I have missed something, Megan.
No, I think you did great. Sorry, my mind. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Afternoon, everybody. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. As the girl said, my name's Craig Anderson. If you haven't met me before or been into any of the trainings, I help with the technical service program within Wolseley. So we have 3 full-time techs on staff now. We're working on a 4th full-time. Plus we have about 7 part-times within the area for everybody to get a hold of a service advisor if need be. So I've been asked today to come on and go through a little bit of the Go Keep Right site and the EPMS parts. So I'll start with the Go Keep Right site. So this site here, if you're not familiar with it, gokeepright.com. No password to get into it. Just log into gokeepright.com and it's going to bring this screen up to you. So this screen is live right now. So when you're in this screen here, you have all kinds of options. The search box is the main option for looking up installation manuals, service manuals, warranty information. So I can pick a air conditioner, CSA5. So about 4 to 5 digits of the model number starting on the units. If we do too much, then it's going to get confused and not get you anything, or it's going to get you way too much stuff. So if we punch in the first digits of the model number and we hit search, so it's going to bring us into the next screen where we can have installation instructions, technical specifications on the air conditioner, and then it has your technical service manuals and parts list. So the technical service manuals for your tech person, if he's not familiar with a unit before he goes out to the job site, he can go into this website, pull up the technical information, or if he wants to know the current spec sheets on that unit, we can load it up and it's going to come out. You can print it, you can just read it, you could save it. It'll give you all the information on that unit. So whether it's air conditioners, furnaces, anything like that, that little Go Keep Right search box right here will pull up anything that you want. The real old archive units, 25 years old, sometimes you will not get manuals. You'll have to reach out probably to a TSA to get anything on an older unit. And if we don't have it, then we'll have to reach out to Go Keep Right themselves. So other things here, you have business tools, mobile apps. So this is the mobile app here at the top, which is the Fast app. This is great for your technicians when they're on the job site. They can scan the barcode on the equipment that's there. They can punch in the serial number of the unit that's there. It will bring up on their app if there's any, they can check to see if there's warranty left on the air conditioner or furnace. They can see if the unit was registered. They can also tell if there's any parts that have been changed on that unit. Plus they can get the parts manual of that unit. So if they need a fan motor, they can look at the exact part up on the job site, get the part number, call into Wolseley, see if they got it on the shelf. saves a bunch of steps before they call in. They already have the part number. So it'll speed up everything once they're. Nice about the app, like I said, you can search to see if work has been done to it. Customers telling you, oh, somebody's been in here 5 or 6 times. They've changed the board 3 times. They've changed the motor. As long as it was been processed through a service bench as a warranty, it will be documented that that unit's been worked on. So it's a good reference for us to see when you're on site. So great little app for you, for your service people. Another nice part on this website is the combination rating database. So this database is ARHI certified. So you can pick ACs, heat pumps, and add in your model number. So CSA 5 is a big one with use. So we can do a CSA 5 outdoor model number. Let's say we're a 3-ton, so we can pick a 3-ton AC unit. We could pick, let's tell it, the indoor coil that we're looking at. Standard are, we could pick an A coil at the top, or we can do fan coils as well. So let's do a coil at the top. And then it's going to ask us for furnace or indoor unit. And then we're looking for data rating basis. So nothing is coming up in this series. So we keep looking, and let's put a fan coil on it to see what it brings up. Then indoor fan coil. Let's see what we got here. It's acting up on me today. It's not giving me any ratings.
I'll check my side, Craig, and see if I can get it to come up.
Okay. Just try a heat pump, see if that changes us any.
We almost made it through without issues, this one. We almost did it.
Yeah, we're all
Thought we were safe. Just a minute.
oh, seems to be acting up on us.
Give me 1 second. Okay, hang on. Let me just grab it from you for a sec.
Yep.
There you go.
That one seems to be working.
Yep. There you go. So there
So
you
in
go.
this,
Yep,
yeah,
you go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go.
So in this database parcel, so if we're picking the outdoor unit, and we're picking a furnace, and we're picking the coil, and we're adding it in there, what it'll do at the bottom is it will populate and tell you, with that combination of furnace and air conditioner and coil, it'll tell you on the right hand side what the SEER ratings are and what the EER ratings are. And then It'll tell you if it's a match system, whether it's an air conditioner or heat pump, SEER ratings you're getting, and if you're doing a package for a customer, you can actually print that off and put it with your quote, so the customer actually knows that you've went to a database and we have a combination match unit. This is a SEER rating you're going to get. This is what we're installing. So nice little database on that Keep Right site that you can go to and play around with, and you can give them different quotes, 16 SEER or 13 SEER, print them all off and tell them this is your SEER rating on this one, this one's on this one. So nice little spot on that site to play around with. Thank you, Thyra. I'll bring my screen back up. So yes, very nice site to go on for that. Other things we can get on this site too is all your warranty. You can get your product registration as well from this site. Into the product information, also technical literature, ductless color brochure. You can get the whole ductless catalog in there and download it as well. And then we can go, it'll bring you to keepright.com, which is the other website, which is usually for the customer. This one is mainly for us. Keepright.com is just for the customer, but you can access that website from here as well. So great website for yourselves in the office for literature, anything you need, technical specs. If you lose a manual, you can print it off this site as well. So the other one for use is EPMS.
Can I speak to Karen, please? Hi, Karen. I'm calling from International Comfort Products. You had called.
So EPMS is going to be our parts. You'll have a little different way to log in. This is just the way I log into mine. So EPMS, great for use at the office. What you can do is search up parts. I know a lot of climate care groups have the internals that order the parts for the guys and stuff like that. So if the guy, the service guy or girl calls the office and tells you you're going to require the model number of the furnace. So let's call it a furnace, G9MXT 080, we'll say.
Craig, your screen's not up.
Yeah.
My screen's freezing?
It's not there.
It's not there.
No, sir.
God love technology. How's that?
You got it.
Lovely. So EPMS, so yes, in the model number up in the top corner, you're going to require the whole model number from that furnace. There's different A2, A1, different generations, so something could have changed down the line of that furnace. So once we have the whole model number, we're just clicking on the furnace, highlighting it. Once we have it highlighted, then we can go to functional parts or non-functional parts. So when they call in, they give you the model number, you click on the functional parts, they tell you you need a fan motor. So we find the fan motor and then we find the part number. So we're going to notice on this fan motor, we're going to have the part number in the left-hand corner. Always look over to the right in case that fan motor has been substituted down the line. So we're always going to want to have the substitution number. to call in Wolseley to see if they have it, or go on Wolseley Express, however you do it. So once you have that part number, you can get all that done. So another thing to note, and I'm talking about motors here, because back in the day when we had a motor, there was two parts we could order. We could order the motor, or we could order the control head on it. So in this case, when we're looking at the motor, you'll notice over in the far corner, there's been some notes applied to this part. So we're always going to want to check those notes in case there's something out of the ordinary. So this one here is telling us it's the motor, includes the ECM control. So we know we're not ordering two pieces. And then like a capacitor, it has a note. So always find out what that note is in case there's something extra they're letting you know maybe you should order, or maybe you should be looking at. Other thing here is exploded view, which is a great thing. Different technicians, when they're calling in, call it one part and you call it another part. It's great. We can pull up the picture. We can blow it up a little bit so we can all see it more clearly. And we can tell the technician, hey, tell me what part you need on that furnace. So there's different views also. So this is a cabinet blower assembly view. We can change the views to see different things that we're looking at. So heat exchanger, we can see what the parts of the heat exchanger is required for this furnace. So we'll notice on the keep right, the heat exchanger comes into different pieces. There's some manufacturers that just send you a whole heat exchanger and away you go. This one here, if the primary failed, we can just order the primary. If the secondary failed, we can just order the secondary. So always take a look. In an inducer motor, sometimes you don't get a boot with it. Check your parts and see if you're getting all the parts you need with that, because the worst thing is getting to the job site and you're missing something. So nice little spot that you can go and look at the picture. You can print the picture if you like, put it in your file, save it, all that stuff. So to get out of that, we just close it and then we move back on to our parts lookup on that furnace. So there's another part too. So we're looking at model numbers and we're looking at part numbers. So if you actually had the part number, you can actually put the part number in there. And it would tell you what that part number is. So you could take the part number and look at the part number as well. So that's a pressure switch off one of our furnaces. You call Wolseley, they don't have that part. What do we do now? You can click on it, on that part actually, and then click where is it used. You could have a furnace that's sitting in your back shop. It's not going to be installed for 3 weeks. You might have that pressure switch on it. So it will actually tell you every furnace that is made will have that pressure switch put on it. So a nice little thing as well to have in case maybe you have that furnace, or Wolseley has a furnace that has that part on it that you know you're going to have sold in a couple of weeks. So pick up the furnace down, take the little part off, and away you go. So pretty much it for that website. That's just going to give you all the parts. You have the app for your phone that you can get, or you can do it right on your laptop. It's nice to have both. Sometimes the one website is down, then you can just go to your app and pull it up on your app, or vice versa. The guys in the site can get the part number before calling Wolseley. They could call Wolseley, they could be on hold for 10 minutes, then they get the guy, then the guy has to look up the part. Why not look up the part and just call and say, I need the 1184413. Makes things a lot quicker for everybody. So that's pretty much it for that website. It's just your part looks up, pictures of the part. And then you have your Go Keep Right site where you can get your literature. You can download the app for your phones. That's pretty much it. Is there any questions on the Keep Right site or the EPMS?
All right, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Thyra, for your efforts over the last couple of weeks. So this concludes all of our sessions for the Climate Care Spring Training Camp. As I mentioned, all of those recordings are on the dealer portal. You're welcome to access them, and enjoy the rest of your day and have a great long weekend.
Thanks, everybody.